Nuk metal, tuk tut!
One Down difficulty is an exciting addition for seasoned Payday 2 players and a nightmare for less experienced ones. Getting into One Down difficulty is no easy feat, but do not be discouraged. Here is a list of 10 tips that will help you succeed on One Down difficulty.
Number 10.
Bring Inspire. Inspire, as well as Doctor Bags, are fundamental skills of any One Down build. Being able to instantly revive a teammate means you are less exposed to enemy fire and are less likely to get downed yourself. The Doctor Bags will continuously refresh your downs, allowing you to continue without going into custody. I have seen players use first aid kits too, but I prefer Doctor Bags because of its abilities.
Number 9.
Avoid public One Down games. Unless you are part of an established group of players, chances are that most of your heisting will happen in public lobbies with random players. I'm going to say that it is extremely difficult to play One Down with an open lobby because it will attract a lot of inexperienced players who won't be able to contribute to team success, but also will drag your team down. Far too often I see low-skill players join a One Down lobby, go into custody within seconds, and either leave or stay and occupy a slot that could have been filled by a contributing player. I, however, have encountered a few good One Down public lobbies where we were able to complete very difficult heists together, but sadly, it does not happen very often. When playing in public lobbies, learn to survive and rely only on yourself. Assume that if you get downed, nobody will be there to help you, and consider getting skills such as Swan Song, Messiah, and or Fiend Death in order to be able to either make it to safety once downed or have an ability to revive yourself.
Number 8.
Work your way up the difficulties. If your most played difficulty is Overkill and you're not comfortable with Death Wish difficulty, there is absolutely no chance you will succeed at playing on One Down. Do not expect to join a random One Down game and be carried through the heist. You most likely will just get kicked. Start playing more Mayhem or Death Wish games and then move on to One Down to make the transition easier. Make sure you are familiar with the heist before trying it on One Down, because on this difficulty, most of your attention will focus on survival rather than trying to work out what to do next. I also want to add that ideally you should get to level 100 at level 5 Infamy before getting into One Down, as it introduces skill point requirement reduction because you will need every single skill point you can get for your builds.
Number 7.
Find a crew to play with. Finding players to play with consistently will take a few games because you will need to find players who fit your playstyle and are also looking for a crew. A first tip that I can give you is to host your own games and be a sensible host. Being a sensible host can mean a few things. One of them is not using the kick function for anything else apart from kicking disruptive players or cheaters. You do not need to kick players just because you need a slot for a friend or because he's a very low or a very high level. Just politely explain the situation and ask them to leave. This way, next time you encounter this person, they will be more likely to play with you. This is also a small but a very significant thing that you can do in order to contribute to making a better Payday 2 community. Another thing I often see is hosts rage quitting games. This normally occurs for one big reason. The heist was not completed successfully, and, as it was discussed earlier, most likely this was due to the fact that it was too difficult. Therefore, a sensible host knows what difficulty he can play well at and would choose the heist according to his and the team's ability. Avoid using the restart button and wait for the heist to finish the natural way. This is one of the most aggravating things a host can do, and it will quickly cause you to lose players. If you found a player that you really enjoyed playing with, consider asking them for a friend request and adding them to your friends list. The easiest way to do that is to go to the Steam overlay, press the Players button, Recent Games tab, and look for the player's profile that you want to add. On a side note, this is also a good way to check if someone is a cheater, because you can check their Payday 2 hours and achievements unlocked, especially how quickly they unlock their infamy levels.
Number 6.
Stay in cover. Knowing when to hide and when to move will help you avoid a lot of incoming damage, and it is something that is very easy to do. Pay attention to when the law enforcers are targeting you and your teammates and plan your moves accordingly. You can also ace the Joker skills in order to have a couple of meat shields with you at all times to take the damage for you. At the time of this recording, they are fairly beefy and so can be a useful addition to your team. Joker skills will also unlock the Stockholm Syndrome, which gives you an ability to be traded out of custody straight away, regardless of assault phase and civilian casualties. Plan big movements such as escaping or securing bags closer to assault phase so that you can have a little bit more space. In some heists, you can time killing Captain Winters to the escape or a major bag move, because killing him will force an assault to end.
Number 5.
Consider bringing secondary equipment. While it will take a lot of points, skilling Jack of all trades will allow you to bring a second type of equipment on top of the previously mentioned doctor bags. Bringing an ammo bag as well as the doctor bags will ensure that you won't run out of ammo, which is especially handy for weapons that either have low ammo pool or cannot be replenished from enemy ammo drops.
Number 4.
Ace 9 lives. To be honest, I feel that this item should not even be on this list, because it should go without saying. I however did encounter a lot of less experienced players not bringing 9 lives to 1 down heists. You may ask, why is it so important? Well, Ace 9 lives adds another down to your total downs regardless of the difficulty. So it will bump the number up to 4 downs on Death Wish difficulty and below, and for 1 down it will bring it up to 2 downs, effectively doubling the amount. It is an extremely cheap skill points wise, and it is a first tier skill, so it is available from the start. With 9 lives, you will be able to go down 18 times on 1 down difficulty, considering you have brought 2 aced doctor bags.
Number 3.
Bring the right build and weapons. Once again, it may sound obvious, so hear me out first. 1 down builds will vary slightly from Death Wish and below builds, because there are so many skills that you simply must bring with you, and because the damage threshold to kill enemies increases dramatically. Therefore, make sure to go over your current build and analyze whether you really need to bring a particular skill, and check whether your weapons are powerful enough to deal with the enemies quickly. Get skills according to the weapon class that you are planning to bring, as well as armor or dodge related skills, depending on whether you are making an armor or a dodge build. Many perk decks won't be viable for 1 down difficulty, so choose carefully.
Number 2.
Stick to the team. In heists where you are going to be moving a lot, such as Hoxton Breakout, make sure you are within a reach of your team so that you can bail each other out of the tricky situations. Discuss this in text or voice chat to make sure that everybody is on the same page. It is also possible to split into teams of 2 if you have a 4-man team in order to complete objectives faster. Make sure that each duo has Inspire and Doctor bags with them, so pair the teams accordingly. I realized this is something that may be difficult to achieve in public games, so the first thing that you can do is make sure you follow the leader and are not falling behind. There are exceptions to this tip though. It sometimes may be viable to split up with your team. For example, sometimes a player may sacrifice himself in order to kill Captain Winters on large maps such as the Goat Simulator, and even though he might go into custody, getting rid of Winters will ensure that the player has a chance to be traded back out.
Number 1.
Practice and keep going. Sounds cheesy, but to be honest, just a few months ago I was completely useless at 1 down difficulty. At the moment, I cannot say that I'm exceptionally good at it, as I have seen players much better than me, but all it takes is a little bit of patience and practice to improve dramatically. Do not get discouraged if your first few runs end up bad. Remember, every player went through it. Utilize the tips mentioned earlier and stay on top of the objectives. Being able to clear large groups of enemies is also very important, as spawn rates on one down are going to be high, so you're in danger of getting swarmed if you do not kill them quickly. These were top 10 one down tips that will help you succeed at this difficulty. Give them a go and let me know how it goes down in the comments below. Make sure to post questions or other tips that you want to share with other players. If you need an idea for a one down build, I have placed a link down in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to share it with your friends, because good people need to watch good videos. Thank you for watching. I will see you later. Bye bye.